What up? How y'all doing out there?
Yeah.
It is another Thursday. We are yet here.
Welcome to
Welcome.
another episode of Love and Business, where we talk about love and
And
business, and sometimes love and business.
Yep. I'm your host, Lamorne Robinson, joined by the great one and only
I was about to
Beat
say,
Juice
you know,
Queen,
you know what?
Crystal Robinson.
I am the beet juice queen right about now, man.
Well, man.
I have inducted a whole lot of people into the ministry.
Hey, I'm talking about it. Beet Juice was communion. It'll be some saved souls out here.
Well, what you don't know is it is a process. We gotta get the people at the doors of the church. You can't just go
Man,
slamming
it
communion
is.
in their face immediately.
I mean, Beet Juice better.
I gotta add crackers.
So, man.
We are on our way to adding crackers. Look, hey, while we're doing this, we need you guys to hashtag live and tell us where you're watching from. Then we need you to hit the share button. Yeah, you got work to do. After that, I need you guys to invite some friends, tag some people in here. We doing part 2 today. Part 2 of the millionaire mentality, millionaire mindset, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, y'all jump in here, tell us where you watching from, and then and share with your friends. Tag your friends and tell your friends to come holler at us.
I see it. Okay,
Yes.
okay. We got some.
Yes, we're gonna bring some
beet
beet juice to the reservation. Absolutely, we're gonna be at the reservation this weekend, and I'm going to have beet juice shots for everybody at the RV. Y'all come by if y'all gonna be at the Alcorn and Southern game this weekend out at the reservation in good old Lorman, Mississippi. I will have a shot glass table set up with the beet juice. You know what? I'm gonna try to light it on fire. You know how they be doing
the shots? Yeah,
they won't. It won't. Oh.
No, it ain't gonna light
it's
on
not
fire.
Gonna burn.
No. Beet juice don't burn like alcohol.
Oh, that's what makes it burn.
Both of them nasty, but it don't have the same effect.
Oh, well, it don't matter. I'm gonna have a fire set up at the Alcorn Southern game. So if y'all are coming this weekend, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do a flyer. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a flyer,
a beet juice flyer.
Yes, and I'm gonna tell people where our RV spot is at, so that they can come through and get a shot of beet juice. I'm doing a Whole Foods run tomorrow before I go out to the reservation. Why? Because I know it's gonna be a lot of pigs burning and a lot of cows mooing on them grills.
Hey.
And so I want to make sure that I am equipped. So I'm going to Whole Foods tomorrow, and I'm gonna stack up. I'm gonna stack up on a lot of good stuff, a lot of good snacks for the Alcorn Southern game. I sure hope Alcorn win, man. That'd be pretty cool.
Because for us to transport all them glass bottles with that beet juice in it, I hope it's worth something.
I can get the ones. I might get the cold press ones.
I hope so, because that all that clinking and clinging, I got to walk in with the bags isolated because I don't want them to bust. They put them
in brown paper bags at Whole Foods and they wrap them.
Oh, that's that fancy stuff.
Yeah, but I'm gonna bring some. I'm gonna bring some for Granddaddy too, man. Listen, y'all out here are not. Y'all ain't listening. I done told y'all to jump on the beet juice bandwagon, and right about now we done had 6 new members just this week. Just this week we have had 6 new members to join the beet juice community. And I just want to shout out to all of y'all that's out there mixing this beet juice with this apple juice and this pineapple juice, and you are going to live long, strong, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Why? Because you are drinking beet juice, one glass a day. I'm out here saving lives, man. Y'all can laugh if you want to, but it's going to be folks out here. I'm talking about dropping canes. They're going to be coming out of wheelchairs. They're going to be coming off of blood pressure medicine. They're going to be dropping weight. It's just going to be amazing.
Beet juice will beat the unhealthy out of you.
Yes, it will.
Beet juice will beat the unhealthy out of you.
I need to trademark that. I need to trademark it. There you go. Dawn says, I love my beet juice. Absolutely.
She be on it.
And yes, it tasted like dirt.
You know, the
first 2 weeks, it tasted like dirt. But now, if I don't have my glass, I was so upset for the last 2 days. For some reason, I had forgotten because I had switched from drinking it for breakfast and I started drinking it as my pre-workout. I threw away the pre-workout too today.
Dang. Okay.
Well, he wasn't using it.
I wasn't, but I had it in my mind. It make you tingly.
So anyway. I started using the beet juice as my pre-workout, and I noticed that I can do an hour and a half to a 2-hour workout, and I'm not even like phased by it when I drink the beet juice first. So the last 2 days, for some reason, I have forgotten to drink my beet juice first, and my Lord, I was sad about it. But I did get it for breakfast. So if you guys work out early in the morning, if you would just do, I'm talking about 3/4 cup of beet juice and a 1/4 cup of apple juice. And I'm telling you, man, your workout, it'll change your life. But yeah, shout out to everybody. If you're in the beet juice community, why don't you hashtag BJC out here? Lamorne is not in it, so he can't say it.
I'm an occasional, beet juice drinker, type deal. I try not to drink it up. I try not to drink it up.
You're not drinking it up from me. I have a stash of beet juice in the pantry waiting on rotation to get into the refrigerator.
I'm still traumatized from when you were pregnant and I ate that last ice cream Snickers.
You're not because you still eating ice cream Snickers to this day.
But ever since then, but if it belonged to you, I ain't eating it.
Well, okay.
If it belongs, that's the.
You see how husbands do? See, this part when we talk about love. We're gonna talk about business in about 5 minutes.
If it belongs to you,
this is the love part right here. How husbands be acting when you eat healthy stuff. They don't want to go in there and rummage in there. But let me had bought a pack of Oreos. It wouldn't have lasted a day. My God. It wouldn't have lasted a day. That's not my kids. You be going in there getting 4 at a time.
No, 2.
How many Oreos is this?
I don't know.
You do know.
I don't know.
You know. How many Oreos is this?
No, that's how you measure the Oreos.
No, that's how many you come out of there with every time we have a pack of Oreos.
But let's go to the pond 2 by 2.
How many Oreos
I eat 2
is
at
this?
a time.
Everybody, okay, y'all know how many Oreos is this? He know. He
it
just
looked like a $10,000 like worth of hundreds.
He just don't want to answer because he don't want y'all to know how much of an Oreo connoisseur he is.
Man, if I was that much of a connoisseur,
you want to know what this
myself.
is? This is 3/4 cup of beet juice.
Okay, well,
because I'm a beet juice connoisseur.
Handle your business then. Handle your business. I was trying to be thoughtful.
See that?
Look, not having for you.
Don, you got the answer right. It's 4. For Oreos, because that's how many times.
I don't eat 2 at a time. I eat 2.
He eat 4 at a time.
1 at a time. I eat 2 of them. Why you watching? You know what I'm saying? Why you just looking at the pantry, just like how many go come out of that with? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
We've been together for 20 years, and I've been watching you eat Oreos for 20 years. I know how many Oreos you go and get.
I'm not disgusted by Oreos. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted, man. Of course. But I don't crave them enough for me to go to the store and buy them myself.
The community that joined us tonight, because that's not what we talking about at all.
But we talking about.
If you guys want to join in on the Beet Juice community, all you have to do is go buy your juice. Just go buy your juice. Make sure you tag me in your photo, of you either drinking your juice or buying your juice.
Get your beet juice.
So that we know that you have joined our community, because I'm talking about, it has lit on fire out here. And I'm super excited about it.
People around the world taking shots.
Because I am leading people to a healthier lifestyle, 1 glass of beet juice at a time.
Now, I will say this. It's unlike alcohol, where, you take a shot and you may feel something shortly after.
It take a while.
Yeah, beet juice, you have to be, like
you
drink the bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Drink it for a week, 2 weeks, you'll start to notice a difference. Now, because you guys decided to join us in on the podcast, I'm gonna let you in on a secret.
What you got?
I have not told this publicly to anybody. Okay, publicly. I have never eaten a beet.
Nope.
I have never eaten a beet. Not one. I've drank a lot of them up until this point, but I have never physically eaten a beet.
Never eaten a beet.
Never eaten a beet. Just juice.
Yeah. Just drink the
That's
beet.
top secret right there, people. I'm not a fraud. I just drink it. Okay. The
just hadn't tried it no other way yet.
Of it. I said that I was gonna try it cooked.
I imagine you could just eat it like an apple.
Yes, or I see them sliced in the can or pickled or whatever the case may be, but I have not went down that road yet. But I'm getting there. I have a number 2.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't have to do number 2, but I have point number 2. Number 2. For those of you that have just joined us in the Beet Juice community, I will say that there are some slight side effects. Okay.
This sounds like a pharmaceutical commercial now.
Slight side effects. Side effect number 1. Your urine may turn a little reddish or a little pinkish. Don't be alarmed unless you out here living wild. Now, if you live in whole and holy, you don't have nothing to worry about. Okay, it's just the red coloring. It just comes through. And number 2, when you go number 2, might be a slight little red coloring there,
tint to it.
Just a little tint, but it's nothing to be alarmed about. Again, if you live in righteous and holy, you're good. Okay. It's just the beet juice. The beet juice has a very, very strong red color to it. Okay.
You could dye a shirt with beet juice.
So it's definitely gonna pass through, but there's nothing to worry about. Just a slight side effect. So I just thought I'd throw that in there just in case you guys didn't know that. I didn't want you to be alarmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing's wrong. Nothing broke. Nothing.
No. You're just drinking beet juice and getting stronger every day.
Just adding a different element.
All right. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's do a real podcast. We're on part 2 of Millionaire Mentality, part 2. So last week, if you didn't join us, which you should have, but if you didn't, the good thing about it is all of these are recorded and they're on YouTube and or our Facebook page. So you can roll out there and see part 1 later on tonight or next week, whenever you want. But I'll give a short recap of some of the things that we went over last week with the you versus millionaire mentality. So the first thing we talked about obviously was that you needed to have a vision, right? Yeah. So clearly if you don't have one of those, it's going to be really, really hard to kind of grasp into this millionaire mentality. Number 2, we talked about consistency, right? That one of my mottos is how you do anything is how you do everything, right? Yeah. And so it's super important that you tap into your consistency mode and drive it home. Trying not to linger on these too hard. We did last week for a good little bit. And plus we got 1, 2, 3. I got 5 more tonight. So I'm going to try to get through them. And so number 3 we talked about was having laser beam focus, basically not letting the distractions distract you. Now you could be your own distraction, or you could have some outside forces distracting you. But clearly, in order to have a millionaire mentality, we can't be looking left or right. We got to have laser beam focus.
Yep.
And then the 4th thing we talked about last week was a resolute belief. Right. We understand that sometimes things can be a little scary. We understand that fear can kind of come in and settle in and make yourself at home, grab a blanket and get some popcorn. But that's not what we're trying to do here. Right. The goal and objective is that once we have a vision, once we're consistently working at it, we definitely, after we've gotten out of the distraction zone, we got to have a resolute belief. And so those are the 4 things that we went over last week. And this week we're going to dive into a few more. So right before we jump into those, if you haven't already, we really need you guys to hit that share button. We need you to share it with as many people as you possibly can, because we want to throw out as many nuggets as we possibly can and help as many people. So here we go.
Let's go.
All right. Part two. You want me to start?
Yeah, go, please.
Oh, you don't have.
Yeah, you got them on your
okay.
phone.
Yeah. All right. So this is number 5, right? This is number 5. So sometimes when we're on our journey, especially when we're on a journey to entrepreneurship, sometimes we find that we don't have a good work ethic, right? And it's super important that we have to become, right, the person that we're dreaming about, foreseeing, looking up the street around the corner. We have to become that person. And then we have to have I'm talking about a fierce work ethic. It's not just, I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna maybe tomorrow. It is. Hey, I have a fierce work ethic.
Yeah.
If I said I'm gonna do it,
then I'm gonna do it.
I gotta get it done.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I thought you was gonna say something.
I was, but you was
go ahead, because I'll go on a rant about this one.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, I know early on, in college, in high school, even post grad, like I know I had the formula wrong, right? I wanted to have or appear as if I had, right? So I wanted to have, because I thought that was what would allow me to be able to do. And then once I did it, I will become it. Right.
So you went.
I went backwards.
Oh, okay.
Right.
It is be do have.
Right.
Okay.
I become what I want. Then I do the things that are required to have what it is I desire. But I went seeking for the have. Right. I wanted the nice things so that I can
just
look
going
the
by
part.
Nice things.
Exactly.
Not doing anything.
So it could have been in debt, on credit, or just, you just flexing, right? So you wanted to have it. And then, or at least in my mind, I remember I wanted one of those long wallets, like the guys be having it. It was a guy in Hazer's named Andre Watson. He used to have this long wallet where you could put your money in it and you didn't have to fold it. And I wanted one of them. And I went and Trustmark had the little blue like savings thing that you jot your stuff down in. I had a frugal savings account is what it was called. And I put that in my back pocket because I thought it was similar to his, but his was leather and mine was fake plastic and all that.
And he probably had money.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably, yeah. So I did, So but I went backwards. I wanted to look as if I had, or as if I have something, to be able to be in the ranks to do something, and then thinking that I was going to become it after that, when in all actuality it's the total opposite, right? The millionaire mindset is to become what it is you desire, to be able to do the things that you need to do to have what it is that you want to have. And then that way it's sustainable. Any other way it's an illusion. You know what I'm saying? It's a house built out of sand. That's gonna fade away at some point, especially when you hit adversity. So
yeah. And I think a lot of times, people, they assume that they legitimately have what it takes to get what it is that they want.
Right.
And they also negate that consistent work ethic that they need to actually get there. So you do, 2, 3, 4 steps maybe, and then you're thinking I should see some progress. And that's not ever.
That's not it.
How it works is it. Go ahead.
No, I'm just and the tricky thing is because I'm a victim of the same thing, right? When you see a little bit of success, then you feel like, oh yeah, I got this, and then you stop doing what you had to do.
What it took to
you know
get
what I'm
you
saying?
there.
Yeah, because you feeling like, oh, okay, I achieved it, but that's not becoming a thing. That is impersonating or it's an illusion of becoming. You know what I'm saying? I was in it for a moment, but that's not in me. You know what I mean?
I think the real secret sauce is people don't realize that as they do the little things that they don't want to do, as they stay, consistent in whatever task it is that they need to accomplish, what they're not realizing is inside of that process, they are becoming.
Yeah.
And most people, they look at the have, right? It's like, well, I want to skip the work ethic part. I just want to go straight to the have. Like, I want to go and get the big contract tomorrow. And negating the fact that you need to learn how to read through these contracts. You need to learn how to make certain partnerships with different people that need to actually help you to get to the end of the road with the contract. There's so many steps in between that I would much rather mess up on the beginning stages than to, get $1 million contract or a $5 million contract. And now I have no clue what I'm doing, just straight out the gate. And I'm obligated to, fulfill work. And I didn't go through the baby steps to get myself prepared for the $5 million or the $10 million contract.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people, in entrepreneurship, especially, they get, so disgusted when they don't hit six figures their first year, or I hadn't made $1 million in my business yet. And it's like, you can get there for sure. But I would most rather, learn through the beginning stages of that, right? Building the consistency in my work ethic. I would most rather learn in the beginning stages all of those things that I need to learn, like get all of the junk out, right? Absolutely. Let me be a novice in these beginning stages
100%.
So that when I hit a six figures or when I hit $1 million, I know what to do with those funds.
100%. And that takes me back to the business that I'm in from a financial services perspective. Like, everybody want to manage the $1 million accounts, but like, legit, man, if you mess up somebody's $1 million account, that's a game changer, right? That's devastating for somebody. So why not start with the $5,000 IRA or the $1,000 IRA, or the person that want to systematically put $50 a month into their investment portfolio? Like, start there.
You want somebody to write $1 million life insurance policy, you mess around and put the wrong beneficiary on the
exactly.
paperwork.
I ain't what I'm saying?
Like, it's just, I think that seriously, the work ethic part is so important because it builds you.
It does.
For who it is that you need to be in the next phase of your business.
100%.
So I just hope that, as you pursue entrepreneurship, and this could even work, what I'm saying, if you're not in entrepreneurship,
it works in anything, like any phase of life, right?
Any arena. You know what I'm saying? What you put in is what you're going to get out. Exactly. And so the expectation can't be, what I'm saying, even for me now, I couldn't have an expectation that if I drank beet juice for a week that, all of my, levels was going to be okay, fantastic, because that's not what that is, right? It's I have to consistently do this, right? Like, I didn't have an expectation that the first month I stopped eating meat that my body was going to be regulated. It didn't work that way. But here we are, month 3, and I'm telling you right now, I'm clean as a whistle. Okay, like, these vegetables are working on me. But the first month, I was like, man, I made vegetables for a whole month.
Yeah,
and I'm still feeling bloated. You know what I'm saying? I'm still feeling fatigued, working out, still it wasn't showing the fruit yet.
Yeah.
But I think that,
based on your timeline, but that's
based on my timeline,
that's
obviously.
Societal, like, handicap, because a lot of stuff happens fast. And that's what I think I made a post about it. Like, when I posted that some of the plants was growing in the garden or whatnot, I was like, man, like, you can't rush that. Like, 9 months take 9 months. You know what I mean? Like, you can't.
And if you do rush it, then we ain't no better than what they putting out on the shelf.
We know better.
Now we growing chickens in little metal containers.
Exactly. in a 24-hour span. You know,
right.
you got a whole chicken
in a day.
But that's it. And I'll say this as a Bible verse that says, it's the small fox that spoils the vine. On the reverse side of that, it's the small habits that will either break you or make you. Right. And that's essentially, so the small things, if they're good habits, they will make you. An oak tree starts from an acorn, but it never takes a break to become a pecan tree. It never strays from that path. And then but because it keeps focus on that. See, us as humans, we it's a blessing because we have the ability to be different things. Acorn can only be an oak tree. So you know what they focus all this energy on? Being an oak tree.
Yeah.
What we have to do is become or have a desire to become something and then focus our energy in on that. But our intellectual capacity and intellectual because we have the option to choose, then sometimes we stray.
You know must have been drinking. You've been sneaking drinking my beet juice.
I've been drinking a little bit.
You sounding real smart today.
Yeah, but but that's the truth. I'm talking from experience because the water hose get wet before the lawn does, right?
You're right.
Everything I'm saying, I'm talking to me, while I'm talking to y'all. So that's just it in a nutshell. So when we get laser beam focused on whatever it is, right? It may look like it's something minute. The people in your city may not support you. You could be a artist, you could be a DJ, you could be whatever. You could be an insurance agent. It doesn't matter. But if you stay in that lane, before long, people will see you as the subject matter expert. Because you keep digging and diving into your craft, right?
Yeah.
You keep digging and diving into your craft.
But I mean, I keep going back to the beet juice, but I want to use this, this example for as often as I can until everybody and their mama joins the beet juice community. But what's so like to what you just said, right? Like the consistency, of which I have talked about beet juice.
Yeah.
I know at least 60 people at this point
done drank some beet juice.
Has at least tried beet juice for the first time in their life.
And walked by it in the store a billion times. They never even thought about it.
Never picked it up, right? But it's the consistency in me showing up every day saying this is something that I'm doing. And it's intrigued people to the point where literally every single day people are tagging me and post saying I'm trying beet juice for the first time. But and then to take it to another level of consistency for me personally. So the last couple of days, the hawk done came out.
It's been flying low.
It's a little cold out there.
You better get your long johns out.
For those of you that's not from the South, when we say the hawk is out, it means it's cold.
I don't know if y'all call them thermals or long johns, but you better get them long johns out.
And so 2 days ago, it was Monday, I guess. It was cold Monday, right? Today's Thursday. I don't know.
It was kind of cold Tuesday. Yeah.
So Tuesday, I know it's cold out because when I stick my toe from up under the covers, I'm like, oh. And so the first thing I thought about was the cold plunge tank. And I was like, Lord, it's cold. And it's cold.
And I'm talking about it's cold, y'all.
It is cold.
It's cold.
And then that day, I think on Tuesday, not only was it cold, but it rained that morning.
I was out there in the cold plunge with the rain.
Now here's where work ethic comes in, right? And consistency. I had been consistent so long, and I had, this work ethic in my head, it couldn't turn off. So even though it was cold, I said, no matter what, I'm going. Why? Because I get in less than 40-degree water. Yeah. Why am I tripping? Because it's cold outside, right? But you think like your brain be trying to trick you out of doing stuff because it don't want to go through the pain. So I'm like, no, I still gotta go do my walk, even though it's raining. I'm like, I cold plunge. It's rain, it's water, it's wet. I'm gonna get wet anyway.
It's a little different.
So, but my brain was trying to tell me, don't go walking out there in that rain.
100%. Mine said it. I'm talking about. Listen, here's what I realized. I really do. I'm not bipolar, and there's nothing wrong. People. I'm not nothing. What I'm saying is this. I feel like that there's a battle in my mind sometimes.
Oh yeah.
With my subconscious is battling with my conscious mind.
But you know how you can fight it? One question at a time. See, people be calling people crazy when they talk to themselves. But I'm going to tell you right now, in this entrepreneur journey, if you don't talk to yourself, you probably ain't going to make it. So this is what I did. I said, no, you're going to get out of that bed. Even though myself had said, don't get out. My other self said, get out.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
So then I walked down the driveway and I was like, you know what? It's cold out here and it's raining. I'm going to just go through one cul-de-sac and I'm going to come on back. Now, the whole point of my walks in the morning is to talk with the Lord. I'm finna shortchange the Lord on my walk because it's cold outside.
The hawk out.
So I go to the first cul-de-sac. I said, that wasn't that bad. Myself said, but it's still cold out here though. You should, when you get back to the house, you should walk in the driveway. I'll get to the end of the driveway. My other self said, keep going. You got it. So I kept walking. But you said, but but that's how that works.
I know.
But I kept going. I go to the next cul-de-sac and I said, man, I done walked a half a mile. I might as well go and get the other half in. My other self said, no, you really can just go back down there and bust that right and going back to the house. I said, the devil is a lie. I'm going to keep my walk.
You finna go.
So, I finished over a mile.
Let me tell you what I really think. If I would have been with you, we probably would have done 5 miles. You'd have been like,
oh, absolutely.
She would have been like,
I done walked it out.
They broke the walk. He finna walk.
But I'm saying that to say that it's not that we wake up with this, with this work ethic, like out of this world. It's like we still have to over 10 years of being in business, we still have to talk ourselves into doing this every day.
100%.
Every single day. But people be thinking that, you know what I'm saying, like we got some kind of magical cape that pops up when the alarm goes off at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it doesn't.
No.
We be wanting to roll over too.
Man, I sit up on my elbow for about 20 minutes.
Now him, I don't know. His self-talk be winning.
I'm going to sit up on that elbow and be looking, be like, man, don't get out.
He on one elbow for 30 minutes. I'm like, at this point, your elbow sleep.
But the reality of it is, I might as well get up because I'm awake. I'm woke now. I'm literally sitting up thinking in my mind, literally, go on, get up, man. It's just put your feet on the floor.
You gotta beat self-talk, man. You got to beat self-talk in order to win in the work ethic category.
And it don't make sense because again, I'm already up. So I done sat there 17 minutes.
You ain't the only one. There's some folk that can say amen in the comments. Y'all might as well go and say amen.
But
because he talking to you.
My major reason for staying in the bed is, I can get a few more minutes of sleep. I can just rest just a little bit longer. Right?
But you laying there thinking about rest.
Laying there thinking about it. So that's what I'm saying. It don't even make sense. It don't even make sense. It's like an illusion. You know what I'm saying? And it's an illusion that be winning because then it make me lose. You know what I'm saying? Because now my consistency, it ain't there.
Help
you know
him,
what I'm saying? It's like, man,
help him.
And I don't know why, why it's like that, man. I really don't.
Antonio said that's my morning.
Every morning, bro, I'm on that elbow, man. I'm looking. I'm just on my elbow, just looking. I'm like, I need to go and get up.
So clearly, we need to work on work ethic. Is that what you're saying? You need to do?
Well, no, I still have to talk to myself. Like, I'll get up, but I still have to talk to myself. Like the other morning, I got up and it was right at like just before 6, and I said, you know what, I'm still going to plunge. I'm still going to do it, because I was like, hey, I did it. I said I was gonna do it a certain amount of times a week. I told myself that. Lamorne, quit lying to yourself. Be real with yourself, bro. And be a man of your word. Go and do what you said you was gonna do.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. So that's what happened. But it's challenging for me. But I see, how that translates over to things in work and business and my family and my marriage. I see how that translates over. And it's like, man, part of me is like, hey, bro, that's a real ugly side of you. Like, you need to clean that up. You need to get that work ethic together, because it's more than just, hey, how your physical fitness or your physical physique looks or whatever it is. It's more like how's your brain functioning, man?
That's how you do anything. Is how you do everything. That's where it shows up at, in your work ethic. Absolutely. And I think that, I know we were driving this one, home for a good little bit, but clearly it's because, we all need to, turn it up a notch in that category. But when you were just talking, we can definitely segue into the next one. When you said, I had to tell myself, hey, bro, you got to get up, or, whatever it is that we, we tell ourselves. I really think that a lot of times the other side of our self-talk wins because we're missing information. Right?
Absolutely.
So that's the what is this number? This is number 6.
Yeah. Somebody there's number next.
Yeah, this is number 6. So we missing information. And here's what I mean by that. Whatever you put in comes out, right? Yeah. And if there is nothing in there, there is nothing coming out. And so if you haven't fed yourself enough, right, information to say, I need to get up, right? I need to get up. I need to do my workout. I need to get up. I need to start my day. I need to get up. I need to go work on these contracts. I need to send these emails. I need to, train this team member, whatever the case may be. If you hadn't put enough on the inside, right, to get you to that point every single day, that other self-talk is gonna win. Yeah, ain't no way you gonna just, jump up if you haven't fed yourself. Like what I be getting is I listen to the resolution. So Eric Thomas motivational speaker, the hip hop preacher. He came out with a it was a CD back then.
Oh yeah. It was.
It was called the Resolution.
Yeah.
And on one of the tracks, he said, "You ain't gonna beat me. How you gonna beat me? And you don't even do what you say you gonna do. How you gonna beat me? And I'm getting up at 3. What time you getting up?
Yeah.
You said you was gonna get up at 8. You ain't getting up at 8. You a fraud. You can't beat me." I hear those words in my head, but I put that in though.
Yeah.
So every time I work out, I hear that track. And all I hear is, "How you gonna beat me? You ain't gonna beat me. I get up at 3. You getting up at 8. You said you was gonna get up at 5. You a fraud." I hear that as clear as day. But I'm just saying, whatever you put in is going to come out.
Exactly.
So even it don't matter what time I get up. If I don't get up and do what I said that I was gonna do, I'm a fraud. I have now categorized myself as a fraud if I don't get up and do what I was supposed to do for my physical health, for my spiritual health, for my mental health, then for my business, right? If I don't do what I said I was going to do, I have now labeled myself as a fraud.
But you know what? The fact is, it matters to you.
Absolutely.
For a long time, it didn't matter to me.
What? Whether you was a fraud or not?
To myself. Because I was like, man, I said I wasn't gonna eat but 3 of these Oreos. That's cool. And
yeah, but if you only told you,
I was going. Yeah, exactly.
I tell the world every day.
But the point is, like, I to thy own self be true.
That's
you know
true.
What I'm saying?
And
that need to be. My high school coach used to be on that Bob Marley stuff. You know what I'm saying? Be to thy own self be true. Know thyself. And I'm like, yeah, Coach Brian, that sound good, man. But now I'm coming to the realization of really what that means.
You can hide if you don't tell other people your thoughts.
Exactly. You can say it again. Say it again. You can hide
if you don't tell other people your thoughts.
And that's
which is why I intentionally always like transparently share, right? As much as I can. Clearly, there's some things that we just cannot share and will not share. But transparently, I try to share as much as I can because it's a layer of accountability.
It is.
Right. So if I'm out here telling the world I'm drinking beet juice, I got to be drinking it.
I'm telling you.
If I'm out here telling the world that I'm up, doing workouts, if I'm up, we're on the podcast every week, talking about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
We got to at least have a business.
Facts.
And so
that motivates me differently because it's money. If I knew $1 million check was waiting on me to get in that cold plunge every morning, I don't think it would be a hesitation for me.
But it is $1 million waiting on you.
And that's the way we have to see it.
Because if I'm not physically able to do what it is that I do, then the millions that we're reaching out to, how we get it?
It don't make sense.
How we get it? There are some things that we could probably do if we wasn't physically capable. Maybe if I couldn't see, or couldn't walk or whatever, you know what I'm saying? The case may be. But if my physical health is bad, I'm not gonna be able to produce to the same degree in business as I am when I'm in top tier shape.
You're right, but the way that I'm seeing it is, because I said I was going to do it, I need to get in the habit of doing what I said I was going to do, because that one customer or that business opportunity that I said I was going to show up to, or I said I was going to fulfill this, if I don't practice doing what I say I'm going to do, regardless of when the opportunity presents itself, I would have practiced failing.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because I done lied to myself, a number of times. So I'm not practicing fulfilling what it is that I said I was going to do. So if I lie to myself, then what is it to me if I let you down? Now, the only reason I may not let you down totally, right, is because it matters to me what you think. And this is the sad thing, ladies and gentlemen. Why do I lessen? I don't know if that's the right way to say that.
You make up stuff all the time.
Why do I devalue my own word and my own opinion of myself versus what somebody else thinks of me?
I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Like I may do something, I would have done something more so because I'm like, hey, I don't want them to think this, that, or whatever. But really, what they think may be the truth, because my performance would have been reflective of that. Whereas when I tell myself I'm gonna do something and then I don't do it, why am I not? You know what I'm saying, caring about that?
Well, I think it's important that obviously aligning self-worth is important, right? Like important, I'm gonna show up for me before I show up for anybody else.
100%.
Which is why I can show up for other people 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna show up for me.
in the way that you want to show up too, because I don't 100%. Know what class reunion you get people to take beat shots, but
it's because I'm showing up for me that way. So there's no other way for me to show up in public and not be me. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah. So it'll be easy for me not to show up for other people if when my alarm clock goes off in the morning I don't show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I can't show up for everybody else, right? It's the practice play, because as we talk about, how you practice is how you play. Yeah. And so if for me, if I'm practicing every day, you know what I'm saying, in the kitchen to be healthier, that all translates into everything it is that I do. Yeah. It doesn't just stop at, oh, I had a healthy meal today. No, it's translating all the way through. Now I got less brain fog to now be laser beam focused inside of this meeting.
Yeah.
Right. Like it ain't just because I want to eat healthy or because I want to look away. Right. No, number one, I did it because I wanted to honor my temple, because the Lord gave it to me and I want to be a good steward of it. Yeah. But once I do that, everything else falls in place for that.
It's a byproduct.
It's a byproduct. Now I'm a superb business owner because now ain't no brain fog up in here from all of the sugar and the beef and the pork and all that, gunk that I was eating. Like I ain't got no brain fog from that. Yeah. Now I can really focus in on my business, on my team members, on next level steps with no problem.
Or just not be controlled by it. Like, don't let your stomach, you're not letting your appetite control.
Now I'm irritable, like, you know what I'm saying? Now a team member say something that I thought they shouldn't have said, and I done went off because I needed a little Debbie cake. Exactly. It just don't make sense.
Exactly. And that's the thing that I kind of think about, because I think about smokers, like,
it's the same. Like I realize now, smoking and eating cookies is the same.
If you can't function because you didn't, because you ain't had that meal, but them smokers, it's almost like a drug. Like they get that cigarette and they back on. But the fact of the matter is, you got to have an outside influence, an outside substance to help you stay on, whereas it's not internally driven. So to have that dependency.
Did we go back to? We went back to work ethic.
No, we didn't.
We was on missing information.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the misinformation was
somebody on here that I'm talking about. They drowned. Y'all can get your work ethic up, because I'm talking about we done went back to it. I don't know how we did it, but
I don't know either. But work ethic.
Hey, come on out of there. Get your work level up.
But I think that's probably the majority, because we can find a vein that we're comfortable in. Yeah. And then we kind of settle and ride the wave, man, and not really understand.
Because you're missing information, right? What you put in is what you get out. Maybe that's how we circle back to it. But at the end of the day, if we don't feed ourselves, or at least that works for me. Yeah. If I start feeding my mind with some things now, before I went on this whole little journey of I'm gonna drink the beets every day, and I'm gonna see how my life feel without eating beef and pork and chicken and whatnot. Before I did that, I watched a lot of videos. You know how you do when you say you're gonna work out and you watch a whole bunch of workout videos, but you don't work out. I watched a lot of videos, you know what I'm saying? I read a lot of stuff. I Googled, a whole bunch of stuff, but I started putting things in that started to change my mindset. Right. It wasn't that I was getting up off the sofa any different. It wasn't that I was waking up any earlier. I hadn't changed anything at that point. I just was putting information in.
But let me ask you this. Why did you even start looking at it? Because I genuinely believe that some people, some stuff I just ain't want to change. I knew I needed to change it, but I ain't want to change. So I wanted to stay ignorant to the information.
But that's the thing. Okay, if you want to be a business owner and you never even look online on how to set up an LLC, you'll never become a business owner. Yeah, if you legitimately want something, you got to go gather the information.
Okay, so you had a desire for it. You just wanted to make sure you did it in the right way.
No.
Okay.
So the way this works, okay, this is my cheat code, right? Again, like I just stated, whatever you put in will come out.
Okay.
I know that to be a fact because I've done it for several things in my life. So I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm 38 now. All right. It's some stuff that starts to, change as we get older. I'm like, I can't keep feeding my body this same crap and thinking that I'm going to make it to, 100. The little song say 99 and a half won't do. I'm going to be some kind of hot if I hit 99 and a half. I want 120.
But in good health, because I don't want to be sitting there only moving my eyes.
Well, but the only way to not do that, right, is to at least do our part.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I started putting in information to help myself to see, because I had a desire to want to do better, but I didn't have enough information to make me do better.
Okay.
Right? The same way. You want to open a business, you keep saying, I want to open a business. I want to open a business. Well, you're not going to legitimately be in business until you go and do all of the documentation and paperwork with the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not going to happen.
Just go and get your
You're not in legitimate business until you go set up a bank account. Right? You know what I'm saying? If you needed the type of business that you had to have a storefront, you can't be in legitimate business until you go and sign a lease or buy a building from somebody. Right? Yeah. But you got to have the information to even do that. You can't just wake up today and be like, you know what? I'm gonna go buy a storefront. You're gonna find out that you can't. Commercial leasing is different from just buying a house.
Exactly. Yeah,
and so 100%. The missing information gets you, to the next step.
Fill the gap.
Yes,
if that's what you desire to do.
You got to fill the gaps. Yeah. So I'm just saying it's super important that we put more in so that more can come out. Right. So I sat there and I read that stuff until it gave an output. Right. If you want to change the output, you have to change the input. Yeah. So I stopped, watching dumb stuff. Stop, playing on, social media, whatever. And if I did see something, or if I was on my timeline for something, I was intentionally looking for something.
I got you. Yeah. And that's real. Cause I mean, I know I can look back at some of the inputs I had just from growing up and things that I may watch on TV and how I respond, or music that I listen to, and how I respond to those real life events.
Watch this today. Me and you both. We now y'all can say whatever y'all want, but me and Lamar used to watch wrestling when we was growing up, and we actually thought it was real until
Monday Night Raw,
up until a little while ago. Okay, don't you judge us?
It's been a long little while for me now.
Don't be trying to act like that in front of these people.
Well, I'm just telling you.
The point is, we thought it was real.
We did.
But anyway, information in, output. Tell me this: what you did after Monday Night Raw?
What did I do after Monday Night Raw?
What did you do? If you a real wrestling fan, what did you do after you watched wrestling?
Maybe try the wrestling moves.
Try the wrestling moves, people.
But my
Thank
brother
God he only had 1 ounce in there. Yeah. You tried the wrestling moves.
Stone Cold Stunner.
Because the information went in.
Yeah.
And the only thing that could come out was all of this stuff that you had just put in. Fact. So all of the moves that the Undertaker was doing, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock, you can't tell me right now, you can't say all of them sayings that every last one of them said.
Yeah. Mankind. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. All of the information that went in. Thank you. Yeah. This 20, 30 years ago, you watching this,
Stone Cold, and
you can't smell what The Rock is cooking. You
can't smell what The Rock is cooking. You right.
So I'm saying the information went in, and the output was after we finished that, we jumping off our bed, slamming down our elbows on a pillow, trying to mimic the move.
You ain't lying.
Because the information went in.
So what happened when I say for the 99 and the 2000? Girl, you working.
I didn't listen to any of that.
I thought she was gonna go ahead and do it. Somebody on the live started doing like
because they know what happened in the 99 and 2000. But that's what I'm saying is that we're thinking that it's a joke now, right? Yeah. Which is why I don't listen to the radio in the car unless it's going, if it's some gospel music or something like that. But I'm putting information in every day, every opportunity I get, whether I'm just going from here to right up the street, 2 stop signs up. I still am going to put something on that's going to, give me some good input so that I can have good output. Yeah. I don't want to just remember all of the hits and oldies from the 80s and 90s. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just be able to recite those songs.
But it really is challenging because our brains have been like that first probably 2 weeks of not listening to the radio or something like that. It's challenging, man, because it's like our brains are, that's what we consider to be entertainment versus like feeding your brain something that's going to be useful.
But when you feed your brain the right stuff for long enough, you no longer think that's entertainment.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that listening to the word is entertaining.
It is, because now you can see how it applies to your life. You know what I'm saying?
Even still, it's interesting. But it really is entertaining.
Your motive is you want to be a better person. You want to be a better kingdom citizen.
True.
Some people want to just be up to speed on what the latest song is or what the latest love and hip hop or whatever it is.
Serving them well, right? Like if I was a radio host, then maybe it would be important for me to, stay up to speed, right? On all of that stuff. But that's not my lane. right? You know what I'm saying? As a minister of the gospel, I do believe that I should at least read the word every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm gonna talk about it.
And so I'm just saying that it's super important that once I have discovered, who I am and what lane it is that I'm supposed to be in, those are the things that I feed myself with.
So the discovery is important.
Well, yeah, absolutely. We talked about the vision, though. We talked about that last week.
Okay.
Having a vision. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that's all a part of the vision for me.
Yeah.
Right. But feeding my brain with the right stuff, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, I can't just wake up. Now don't get me wrong. I believe that God has gifted us all with special, gifts, talents, and abilities. Right. And there's just some things that some people can do that's just like super easy for them, but maybe difficult for others. That's your gifting. Right. I get that. But still inside of the gifting, we still have to tool that, right? We still have to work on that. We still have to grow ourselves in that particular category. I do believe that I was born and created to be an entrepreneur. I am mentally unfit to be an employee.
Chronically unemployed.
I just don't even know if I could ever, do it. I don't know. I mean, if I had to feed my family, absolutely. But would it be long term? I know it couldn't be, because I know that this is where I was called to be, right? But I do know that there are some spaces inside of this entrepreneurship game that I didn't just wake up with. Right. I have to study that. Right. I have to find that. If the Bible says study to show yourself approved. Right. And so if I believe the word, even in entrepreneurship, it's not just saying study the Bible. I get it. Yes, study the Bible. But at the end of the day, I can't call myself a great entrepreneur if I'm not studying the game of business.
Yeah.
Like that just doesn't make sense. So what I'm putting in, right, as it relates to entrepreneurship is going to come out in my daily, habits. But I'm just saying that a lot of people are missing information and they're thinking that they can just show up and it's just gonna be there. And it's not.
It made me think about it when you was like, you were called to do, entrepreneurship. And it made me think about how somebody may be a good athlete in high school or whatnot. They really are. They are probably called to be a basketball player, a football player, or whatnot. But because they dominate on the level that they are on, they never put anything else in. They think that that's it. They think that, okay, I dominated in high school. Now I know I'm going to dominate in college and I'm automatically going to the NFL.
It's some people on the next level that
will take your lunch.
They've been putting information
and eat it in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
They have been putting information in.
Exactly. I'm like, this cat 6'3" and can handle the ball. He can run. He can jump. He can hit. Whatever. Like he just as good as you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or she, let me be respectful, because women are athletes too. So like it's just that thing. But because you have a natural inclination to do it, you just, you still have to put something in. You still got to put something in on that.
No, I 100% agree.
And I think a lot of times that people just be like, oh, I got a God-given talent. And you might, but that don't mean you don't have to work.
There's still more to learn, and I
still more to be had.
Absolutely. And that's where I'm at now. It's like I know a lot about entrepreneurship, but that still doesn't stop me from studying it. So I was just thinking a couple of weeks back, I was like, man, what is it that I need to do right now? Because I'm just I'm always self-assessing. I say that a lot, but it is the truth. I'm always looking at myself, trying to figure out what areas can I improve. And the first thing I heard was go back to the basics, and I'm like, man, what? I'm thinking something new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't. It was literally go back to the basics. And for me, that was, okay, what was your basics? It was literally reading books and podcasts.
And see, and that's huge, because a lot of times we will be looking for like the new and innovative thing or something like that. It'll be like, hey, this is what I'm doing now, or whatever. When it's like, really, like, hey, man, just keep it
go
simple.
back to the basics, because that's
what fundamentals.
Right. That's what was causing you to win the game. And so then I said, okay, well, I'm gonna respect that. So I've literally went back to the same basic podcast that I used to listen to, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I'm back to the same podcast, but listening from a different perspective and from a different ear. Because when I was listening to those podcasts, prior to, I was a novice. I didn't know as much as I did, right? And so now I can listen from a completely different perspective. And now when I'm reading books, I'm now intently reading to figure out how can I apply it. Whereas before I was information gathering because I didn't know where I was going to let it out at.
Right.
Now it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's laser beam focused because when I grab information now, I can actually know where to implement it at fast.
100%.
Whereas 10 years ago, when I first started, just, binge reading and listening to all kinds of videos and all of this, it was literally just me just getting saturated in information and having nowhere to let it out at. And so when I say missing information, like for me now, I even feel like there's some spaces where I'm going and gathering information because what we've done over the last 10 years, honestly, was from the first 2-3 years of just listening and putting stuff in. And so it's stuff that I might say to a team member now that might blow them away. And I read that 8 years ago.
100%. No, you're right, man. Information gathering versus application, man.
It's two totally different things.
And then when you start to, as you gather information, like you said, you start to see things a little bit different.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because we can walk in somewhere now and I'm like, dang, okay. Or I can listen to something and be like, I'm looking at it from a different lens. Like I'm not going, I may go to the basketball game, but I'm going and I'm probably gonna see like, man, they missing out on opportunities here
every single time.
You know what I'm saying? Like what's
every single time
capitalizing on this
everywhere we go. That's just how it is now. But you won't know how to do that unless you put a lot of information in. Right. Now I'm not telling people because what I am not a fan of is information junkies. I'm not a fan of that. Where people feel like they've accomplished something or they've checked off a box because they know something. And to Ville's point, you know what I'm saying? Once you get the information, if you don't apply it, then it's just pretty much useless because I don't want to just sit around and have a conversation with a whole bunch of people that just know a lot of stuff, right? Like I want to, be able to figure out how can I apply what it is that I know or what it is that I've learned or I'm learning, in the process. My goal and objective is to figure out what stage, level, or entity or whatever can I apply this information.
Right.
That's when it's most important.
And that be the part, like really. And I'm on the guys a little bit on this, man, but I don't really get it when people like argue to the vein pop out in their neck about sports. Like I'm a athlete
because they know all the stats.
I'm an athlete, but them sports don't be paying me. Like I don't bet, I don't gamble like that. But maybe somebody else does, and if that's your profession, then that's what you do. Okay, all right, that's between you and the creator. Y'all got to deal with that. But I don't understand that because it doesn't serve me. It's just pointless conversation to say that I'm, so that information that I'm gathering, how is it serving me? Mm-hmm. Like, what is it doing to help propel me toward the goal and objective that I'm trying to get to? Well, pump the brakes. First, we got to have a goal and objective.
Yeah.
Right. But if we just out here just free flowing, I guess it really don't matter because you're not trying to gather the information to get you to that next level. Well, you're just trying to gather information so that you can be a valued customer in the barbershop.
But see, this is the thing. This is the thing now. Up until about the 99, 2000s, I did know pretty much every song.
I still know a good bit of.
But now what I'm saying is, to your point with the stats and the sports and all, like it's not my goal and objective to know every word to every song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All the latest dance, because you got to get a PhD to do some of these line dances.
I looked at that to me a day. I said, you know what? Y'all can crisscross your feet as long as you want to. I ain't never got to learn it, okay? Yeah. I already got 2 left feet as it is.
I really be thinking like the people that created these, I'm like, they wasn't sober. And now these people are trying to, sober people are trying to do these dances. This ain't it.
I ain't learned nothing since electric slide and monkey swing. Past that, I don't know nothing else. If the song don't tell me 2 steps to the left, 2 steps to the right, if it don't do that,
one up this time.
The song got to teach me in the moment if it want me to learn. You hear what I'm saying? I ain't trying it either, Bill. I'm just like, I'm over it. But to your point, you know what I'm saying, with the stats, to me, it's the same as being able to, stand up in the club and sing every song word for word.
Yeah.
But on the back end of it, you know what I'm saying, nothing else is happening. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at, is like we overlook the fact that we're putting information in our brains on the daily consistently. right? We overlook it, right? We're thinking that it is, you know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing, right? To just listen to the radio. I'm not saying that it's wrong to listen to the radio, but I am saying that if you're trying to get to a different place, if you're trying to elevate, to another level in your business, if you're just thinking about becoming an entrepreneur for the very first time, I'm saying the radio ain't it, unless it's an audio book or a podcast or some type of YouTube video that you're listening to while you're driving, or if you're at least having a conversation with a prospective business partner or a business mentor, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. I'm saying that we overlook the spaces and time frames of which we are inputting information. We input information all day long.
Our brain is always
on, even when we sleeping. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, when with certain stuff, I'm like, I can't go to sleep today. Go to sleep today. Or you will wake up in the middle of the night and you gonna hear Bob Proctor over there.
What does it say?
It say, I'm so happy. Oh gosh, I done listened to this 1,000 times.
Money is attracted to me.
Yeah, money is attracted to me. And then I'm so grateful. I'm so happy and grateful that money comes to me. And something, I don't know what the rest of it is, but I listen to that like in the middle of the night. I got this mantra going on in the background while I'm sleeping, because I need even my subconscious to be fed. I need even my subconscious to know that money is coming to me. You know what I'm saying? I need my subconscious to know that witty ideas and inventions are coming to me. Right? Like y'all can think it's wild, but it's working for me.
It is. And you gotta know that your subconscious mind is real, because if you take a baby, right? I don't know one kid that's ever been afraid of a flower. You know what I'm saying? You show a baby a flower, or 1 or 2 year old. I've never seen like 1 or 2 year old run away from like a flower or something like that. But if you show them like a dog or a snake or something like that, it's like they instinctively know this is not good for me. This is dangerous. They going away from it because subconsciously they know, right? That's just part of our, like our makeup. You go know, like, man, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? So your subconscious mind is working.
That's why I feed it
one way or another, right? But we have to intentionally feed it.
Well, I'm awake or sleep. I found it because it was bothering me that I didn't know the middle section of that. It says, I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis.
And they say that over and over.
It says it over and over for 8 hours straight. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. Yeah.
That's it.
And then on another one, it says, you will want to listen to this for 30 days straight, at least 30 days straight. You will consistently listen to this for 30 days straight, at least 30 days straight.
And they just do that.
And I'm like, this is wild. And you know what's crazy is I'm probably on, because even when y'all leave, I listen to that.
Hey, but subconsciously, I don't know all the scientific deals or whatnot. And Dr. Johnson is on here. Maybe we can have her on at some point. Maybe she could talk to it.
We do need to have Viv on here. Viv, you just got an invitation to Love and Business.
It's Dr. Johnson.
Oh, my bad.
Dr. Johnson.
This my sister. She Viv to me. You call her doc.
She's Dr. Johnson. So
Dr. Viv.
But I mean, it's a powerful thing, man. Like how our brains really work. You know what I mean? To understand what that does, because then you listening to that, and now your mind starts to, because our brains can't really tell the difference between like a dream and reality sometimes. That's why like you can wake up sweating because you really think that you in a real dream one way or another, whether it was a good sweat or a bad sweat. Okay.
I mean, that's how people pee in the bed. They really think they was up going to the bathroom.
Exactly. So when you listening to something like that, right, you trying to tool your mind. It sounds boring and it sounds lame. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Somebody knocking the boots, you know what I'm saying? Playing or whatnot. But man, you talking about your brain triggering on to be able to see and think about ideas that can get you what it is that your subconscious mind is now putting out. Like that's a real thing.
Yeah, that's why I listen to that. I listen to scriptures that play for 8 hours straight. I'll listen to healing scriptures. I'll listen to that, that money mantra. Like I listen to those things consistently because I know that it's feeding my brain that missing information that helps me, you know what I'm saying, to kick into that next gear when I need it.
But so did you phase into that, or did you just cold turkey? Because I had to phase into it. I
listened to what?
Like not listening to the radio and stuff like that, because I'm guilty. I listen to the Tom Joyner Morning Show I used to anyway, and then it switched to the Steve Harvey Show, and then it got to the point where it was just like, I'm just gonna listen to the Nephew Tommy Prank, which come on at 6:43, and then from there on, I'm going to listen to an audiobook or a podcast or something like that.
I mean, it may be different for different personalities, but I've never been one to ease into anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and once I and maybe my phase of easing into it is, me
thinking about it.
Yeah, going through the process of, hey, I really need to do this, but once I know that I know, there's no reason why, okay, I can't just, fully dive into it. But I really think it has to do with how bad do you want it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how bad do I want, a next level in my business? Or how bad do I want a next level in my relationships? How bad do I want, communication with God? And what, and now that you brought that up, I struggled. So our Inner Circle community did a Prosper Well initiative for the month of October. So from October 1st to October 31st, we were on a Daniel fast. So basically for 31 days, we did the Daniel fast, and it has been the most amazing experience of my life. But what a part of the initiative was, we had to take cold showers, which I was like, 2-minute cold shower. Who does that? I'm cold plunging for 8 to 10 minutes a day. Whoop-de-doo. So the cold showers was nothing, but then there was a part where we had to do a 20-minute walk with no podcast, no audio book, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. So the first time I went, I did put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but it still felt weird, because I had the phone or whatever. Second time I went, I had the phone on Do Not Disturb, but I was still tempted to look at my phone. So the next time I went, and mind you, I didn't do this consistently, every day. I did not do the 20-minute walks every day, especially to begin. But then I got to the point where I actually left my phone at the house. Now I'm saying this to say that the whole point for us going out on this walk was for us to be able to commune with God, right? Just to have a conversation. And so I'm going out on this walk, and it felt a little weird, initially, because that wasn't necessarily my process, to communicate with God. Like, for me, walking was like a workout. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't put the two together. But what I realized was I was cheating myself out of the opportunity to talk to God.
Because you had your phone. That was like there.
And I mean, blatantly, he said that to me, because one day I'm walking out of the driveway and I'm like, man, this is tough. Like, I don't really feel like I heard anything, because I was talking to, Pastor Sean, and she was like, oh yeah, me and God be out there. I'd be like, man, what up? What's going on up there? And I'm like, man, you out here getting downloads. He giving her just essays or stuff, and I'm like, man, I don't even know if he told me anything. Like, I don't even know if he spoke back yesterday.
Like, am I connected?
Well, I hear,
my mic on?
I clearly hear God, you know what I'm saying? But I had separated, you know what I'm saying, my workouts as a, you know what I'm saying,
that's not
completely
a moment
different. No. So I struggled in getting in sync, right? And so I'm walking every day. I'm going out there. I'm like, bro, is you out here? Do you talk on walks? What is going on? Because everybody else hearing stuff, but I didn't stop going. You know what I'm saying? That's my point, is that I did my own way of, easing into it. But once I realized, hey, you're distracted if your phone is here, whether it's on Do Not Disturb or not, leave it at the house. But for the things that I felt like was tripping me up and making me fail, I would just go ahead and cut those off, right? Like, I would say, all right, phone gotta go. And then when I got out there, if my brain started going to to-do lists, because you're supposed to be talking to God, but you be thinking about groceries. You be out here like, oh, I gotta do this, and I need to send this email. Oh man, I forgot to call such and such back. You didn't ask me to give you the Marriott password. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, God, it's stuff in your head. So I'm still walking, and I ain't said not a word to the Lord. Just walking and thinking. So finally, week 3, it's almost over. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking, and God starts to talk. I said, well, look at this. This is amazing. But I wanted the result. I wanted it. And I said all that to say, I had a desire, right, to walk and talk with him like that. But even more so, today was an amazing day. Like, I'm walking out of the driveway and I'm like, look, God, now the Prosper Well is over. But I'm still out here. That's showing you my commitment. This is how I'm talking. You know what I'm saying? I'm just walking. I'm like, I'm showing you my commitment, because Prosper Well is over. It ended on the 31st. But I'm committed to keep coming out here without my phone, Lord. without it. No podcast, no nothing, because I want to hear.
Yeah.
I want to walk and talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to feel like we holding hands out here. Because I had a desire for it.
For that.
Yeah. Man, I got off of that sidewalk. I'm walking. I'm feeling real good. And I get to the second cul-de-sac and the Lord says, pray in your heavenly language. I'm like, now, Lord, I'm out here with all these other people.
Yeah.
You want me to, they might kick me out the neighborhood. Nonetheless, I start walking and I started speaking in tongues, just walking and walking and walking and walking and walking. I get to the third cul-de-sac and he says, be quiet. Straight quiet. I get quiet. Lamorne, I kid you not, I typed 2 pages of notes in my phone when I got back from the download that I got on that walk.
Okay.
It was absolutely amazing. But I said all of that to say, if I had to quit on the first time of self-talk that said, this is weird, don't do that. Oh, don't, only go a half a mile, don't go the full mile. You know what I'm saying? Don't get up because you tired. You know what I'm saying? Don't whatever. I've now experienced another level in God because I had a desire and then I acted on the parts that I knew to do. A lot of times, especially in business, we don't even want to act on the parts that we know to do. Right. We just want the end result to show up. And it doesn't work like that.
That's
God
true.
was telling me hey, if you want something from me, I need something from you.
Yeah.
Are you going to really not, you left your phone at the house, but you still thinking about it. You thinking about everything in there that you got to do. You thinking about your whole day. I want your time. You want my time? I want your time. And if we can just commit, right, to the same degree for the thing that we're asking for, because the thing that we asking for costs something.
It does. And you got to press in to see what the end goes.
So how are we going to get it?
Press past that
if we're thinking that we just get to show up as we are, right? Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, if you want a reward, you got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to become the person, right? That deserves that thing.
Because the truth is, the you that you are may not be the person that can really hold and sustain that.
No, not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if I had woke up the first day after, right? First day after drinking beet juice and I had an 8-pack, couldn't tell me nothing.
I would only drink it that one day.
Couldn't tell me nothing. You gotta respect the process of that. Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying is that we don't realize that who we're becoming inside of that is the most important part.
Yeah.
That's how you get the millionaire mentality, is going the step by step, the day by day, the task by task. You don't wake up with the mentality, you grow into it.
Becoming is more important than having.
100%.
Becoming is more important.
And here's why. Because it doesn't matter what we have today. If I had just gotten it after day one, I wouldn't know how to get it back.
Right.
You can strip me of all my clothes today and I can get it back because I became.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know any other way to tell it.
You cut a branch off an oak tree, it's still an oak tree, and it grow back.
Now you want to go. You want to go to your country?
Oh no, that's just true. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You can look at nature, and nature will tell you a whole bunch of truth.
I know you out here, the McCain Farmer John.
That is the God's original plan. Like, he put it into play, and it's been working ever since. As long as there's seed time and harvest, it's gonna be a winter, spring, summer, and fall. Happen. So what does that look like? Absolutely.
Dang, did we only do 2?
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do we have to do? We gonna have to do a part 3?
I think so. Because
Oh my gosh.
So I had
3. We had 3 more to go. We're gonna have to. I guess we'll have to try to do the next 3. I'm cool with it though. I think, you know what I'm saying. I think it's cool to just keep hashing them out as as they come out, and however much information we need to give on each one of them. I don't want to rush it. And the main reason I don't want to rush it is because we get asked a lot of questions a lot of times. Yeah. And like we said on the first podcast, part 1, I should say, was that the goal and objective here is to try to figure out how to hash out what we feel like we did, or what traits, qualities, that we had to possess before we got to the part, the stage that we're at right now.
And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be silent, but it's not necessarily a one sentence answer or one, it's
case
really
point, why we're on part
community, 2? Man. You know what I'm saying? It's being around those like-minded people, those centers of influence that will allow you to, when the real like crux of something comes up, you got somebody that you can kind of lean on. But the deal is, we don't want to a lot of people don't want to join a community, or they feel like, hey man, that's pointless to, whatever, or they feel like, man, I'm paying for friends or something like that just because you flying to somewhere to, to go to a conference to connect with people or something like that. When really, man, it's way more than that, but again, you got to have the vision to be able to see up the street and around the corner. But if you think that you can just run into somebody in the hallway as they going to go relieve themselves in the restroom, and you ask them a question and then they give you 15 word answer, that may not be what that may get you motivated to do something, but it ain't gonna be what sustains you.
Ain't gonna be the end of the road for sure.
Not gonna be what sustains you. So
no, but our hope is that this information is helpful. I hope it's been helpful over the last 2 weeks. Like I said, we do have 3 more items, and who knows, by the time we get to next week, we may have added more to it. But we genuinely are thinking about some of the things that we may say to people in passing when we do get questions. It's not that we just jot them down and take notes all the time, but I have been trying to just think through over the last couple of weeks, so that we can pour out as much information as we possibly can, because we want everybody to win. Obviously we want to continue to win, which is why we're going to continue to do these things that we've been telling you to do,
right?
Over the last 2 episodes. And so we hope that it's been helpful. We hope that you've enjoyed it. If you have, then you could definitely help us by hitting the share button, telling some friends about the Love and Business podcast, just getting more people in here to listen and grow and become with us. Because the goal and objective for us is to continue to grow, to continue to become. I say I'm always growing and becoming. That's been a saying for myself for a while.
If you're green, you're growing. If you're ripe, you're riding. So I told one of my girls' teachers, it's hard to learn. It's hard to teach somebody something they think they already know. You know what I'm saying? So we continue to be open. We continue to be a student, one way or another, because it's levels to it. But
I'm even a student when I'm on the podcast. Like even in these moments, I'm learning, and just even if it's reflecting back and seeing, some things that we could have done better or differently, or even in sharing the information with you guys, it sometimes it rekindles some stuff and brings stuff back up, so that we can continue to do them. So
going back to the basics.
That's where I'm at right now. I'm on books and podcasts, man. I'm not gonna stray away from what got me to dominating in the first place.
There it is. Well, hey, I'm with it. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week.
And don't forget, if you're coming to the Alcorn and Southern game.
Oh yeah, beat shots on Crystal.
Yeah, we're gonna have some beat shots at the at the RV. If y'all want to join the Beat Juice community, all you gotta do.
We gotta re-up on your cups.
I'll get
Crystal
some tomorrow.
Did not know that they made solo shot cups.
First of all,
the little red ones,
I've been out of the game for a minute.
Did not know.
Been out of the drinking game for such a minute now, okay? And so no, I did not know that they made throwaway shot cups. Okay. Clearly I've been missing out on some things. But unless it got beet juice in that shot cup, don't offer it to me.
I mean, you can't rinse and reuse it,
Well, hey, whatever we gonna do with it, but we're gonna be giving out shots this weekend.
It might keep you warm on the inside.
I'm gonna go to Whole Foods and get some more beet juice.
Built-in
apple juice.
Antifreeze.
Yeah,
where your insides won't freeze.
Either way, join us on the journey. Hopefully, Lamorne will be joining us soon inside of the Beet Juice community. The more, the merrier. We got plenty of room out here on these pews, so y'all just come out here and hang with us. We're gonna drink Beet Juice and love the Lord. That's what we're doing. All right, man.
Hold your shots in the air.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We're gonna see y'all next Thursday.
Yep.
All right.
Y'all have a good week.
Good night.